Business fundamentals in a fun way. I got asked a question, which was, hey, what industry do you work in? I work in finance. Oh, I work in finance too. Could you help me get a job? This video is about business fundamentals in a fun way. I don't necessarily get that question a lot, but I do get the you seem like you know business pretty well. Will you give me a job kind of question. Let's address I want to work in finance. I've been doing things good for my resume. I've been having horrible results trying to apply for jobs. If this sounds familiar, because this is massively cliche. The simple answer that's straightforward, that is also counterintuitive, is we don't want to make our resume better. We want to make ourselves better. How? Books and videos. Read a book, get better, do something. Videos. Watch a video, do the video, get better at business or finance from one video to another video. We don't want to wait for permission where somebody funds our education, our OTJ education, which is on the job. That's not how the world works. That's how school thinks it works, which is we get funded by an employer who takes a risk on us, trains us in order to be a productive employee. That's not how the world's working right now. Why? Because people don't want to hire a liability or an NPC or a risky person. That's why this video is business fundamentals presented in a slightly fun way. Hi, Kamal. How are you? I'm Larry Chang. It's good to hang out with you. We can talk about just want to say hi, hope you're having a good day. Good God bless you, and I hope you get to where you want in life. Keep giving and never give up. Is that a spam message? You didn't write that just for me, did you? You kind of write that for everybody. But guess what? I will accept your generic message because our room is about being generic. Lee asking the question of business fundamentals presented in a fun way. The question I got asked is, hey, I've been doing things for my resume in order to get a job. And then I said, is there a question here? School teaches you that your resume drives business opportunities. In the Chinese way of being actually more American than most Americans is to do what? To be slightly more entrepreneurial in how we drive, catalyze, and stimulate job offers. Remember, I'm the person who, with a straight face, asked VCs to pay to pitch via hashtag reverse VC. I'm the guy who's hosting a party inside of a music festival that is reverse sugar daddy. I'm the guy who said, David Weekley, thank you for coming up with reverse job fair. Reverse like forward, job like, hey, can you give me a job in finance? Fair. Or reverse job fair. That's David Weekley. So let's go over and bullet point some Friday fundamentals on business ideas and techniques presented in a fun way. Let me read some of these comments aloud. Thanks, I am fine. How are you? Hello, Larry Chang. I just got here. Hi, Fallen One. hopefully you'll rise and become amazing. I have to go. I hope you have a good live stream. Bye. That was a hit it and leave the live stream. I've never seen an Asian Southern proud boy. You're a true American patriot. You and me both, buddy. You and me both. Hola, I'm Larry Chang, and we are going to have a fun time because a business fundamental that I know that might be applicable to you, but definitely is going to be presented in a fun way is this. Making our resumes better is boring. Like you even saying resume or me even thinking resume makes me a fuddy-dud. What could we do that's not boring, that's Friday night, borderline Psycho Saturday? Here's what we can do. We can pick a skill that is specific that we can showcase to a potential employer so that way when they see this skill, they're going to think, I have to hire you. We have to work together. If that phrase is not uttered, you're not going to get an interview. Nobody's doing interviewing 50 people just to hire one person. People aren't doing that right now. Why? Maybe because there's a hiring freeze, which I don't really see. Maybe it's because the economy is actually okay. But the business life hack is this: perform in public. 3 words for Friday Business Fundamentals presented in a fun way. Perform in public. School has you testing in private, studying solo in private. Performing in public is work. Does this work need to be perfect? It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be executed and then documented in the most plain language that's not exactly professional. Look at my videos. They're not professionally polished, but they're executed so quickly that it makes people's heads spin and then think that I might be a robot, think that I might be a secret agent, assume that I might be a spy. All of these things are meant to execute fast because you need a job offer by Wednesday of March. That's what business fundamentals is transitioning from the prepare to be perfect to performing in public while doing pretty good work that we execute faster and faster and faster. And that's how when we move from performance to performance, we get better. This is an example. Producing a slide deck on a topic that you've studied before in a topic tree, similar to a Dan Co collaboration video that I presented. Can you go from video to video making improvements in the field that you want to get a job offer in? Are you willing to do a video report on 2 books? Basically a book report that you read aloud on YouTube. Most people have an apprehension to appearing on camera. Doing the street smart work of business fundamentals presented in a fun way. Take 2 books that are not necessarily perfectly in finance and entrepreneurship, DJ the books together into a new thing that you then do a book report on 2 books. Here's an example. Cross the Chasm from the Right. So that's a Jeffrey Moore book that is right here. which is crossing the chasm. Adding a component of 4 steps to the epiphany would then be crossing the chasm from the right. And what you're doing is you're just doing a book report on 2 books simultaneously. Have you seen or heard the bestseller Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance? All you're doing is taking 4 books, smashing them together by having it be almost a oxymoron. Oxymoron. Ginormous shrimp. Oxymoron. Everyone's private driver, which is Uber's slogan. Oxymoron. Stand-up comedy, that's 101% true. You're going from begging for a job to having the employer pitch you because you're doing the role. The rewards are uncertain. That's true. But that's also a competitive advantage because nobody's going to do the work. How most NPCs are wired is, I don't want to do anything unless I get paid. And guess what kind of employee you're hiring? You're hiring dead weight. Whereas if you were to do the job without getting paid, eventually you will be paid. In fact, you'll probably be paid more than the person hiring you, which is the whole secret to corporate world, is that the person hiring you, they're not really doing anything because it's a corporate job. All you're going to do is their job for them. Okay, let's back up a little bit and let's go into summer internships, because we can definitely have a fun time getting 3 legendary internships in a row. It works like this. Freshman year or first year as a 40-year-old, it doesn't matter. You're thinking 3 jobs ahead. But we'll just use the construct of 3 internships. In fact, if you're 40 or 60 and are trying to restart and switch careers, this is going to be genius for you. Why? Because your internship time won't have to be 90 days, 3 months. Your internship time can be 1 weekend. You're welcome. This is what we're going to engineer. 3 legendary internships in a row. If this is the first time you've met me, hi, I'm Larry Chang. I know this feels like it's amazing and awesome. I've already got more likes than I have viewers. I don't even know how the math works on that. This is about the time at the 13-minute mark that there's a commercial break. But the problem with the commercial break is I don't have anything to sell you, nor do I want to sell you anything. This is what's required as tuition, which is this. Pen to paper, please. This is what you're writing down. 3 legendary internships in a row. Oh, but Larry, I already learned from you and I make $400K a year doing blah, blah, blah. So I don't need this. You're awesome. Love you, babe. Yeah. Look, you still need to do this. Why? Because even if you've already gotten to an incredibly high level, you can still be 3 internships away from being CEO. Let's go. Pen to paper. Pen to paper. 3 legendary internships in a row. Doesn't matter if you're 80, 60, 40, or 20. You're 3 internships away from leveling up. Let's go. thesis. That's the first thing you're writing after 3 legendary internships in a row. Thesis. Thesis. What is your thesis? Because this is what happens when you are able to get a job anywhere is you have an incredibly specific thesis. Let me give you an example. Here we go. 3 legendary internships in a row. You want to work in finance. This is the thesis. And I can just brainstorm with you thesis, because this is a one-way brainstorm, makes it really hard. It's also really hard to do a monologue, which is what this is. But remember, we're just having a fun time doing business fundamentals in a fun way. Thesis. Old way, you need a tax ID number. New way, we underwrite an email address. That's my thesis. Do you see how incredibly specific that thesis is? That, by the way, turned into a $300 million company. You're welcome very much, Orrin Hoffman, LiveRamp. You're welcome, Orrin Hoffman. You're probably a billionaire by now, and thank you for the accolades, and you're welcome. Email address underwriting. So what we're doing with a thesis under internship is we are coming up with a guesstimate, almost a theory on something in particular, which is a paste copy of something that we watched on YouTube, which is with attribution, with building on top of cell phone number underwriting is email address underwriting. And do you see how the thesis gets complicated in a hurry because you and I, need to iterate on that thesis. Let's say you and I trade 7 text messages and we come up with a thesis. Let's call it cell phone number underwriting. Now that we have a thesis under the main topic, which is what? Tell me what the main topic is. 3 pop-up internships in a row. That's why Psycho Saturdays is so amazing. Why are you guys not hitting the subscribe and like button? I don't need it for me. I need it to see if your brain is on, to see if you're even thankful enough to hit the I think I need to make sure that I never forget who Larry Chang is. I need to connect. I need this stuff mainlined into my left hemisphere. Forgiving you for being hezzy on subscribing, okay? Maybe I'm your first Chinese friend. Maybe your Jinky Cherry has never been popped. Maybe you have never had a Chinese friend who talked trash. Maybe all your white and black friends talk a ton of trash, and then now you're like off balance. Subscribe, optional. Liking yourself, very optional. Me liking myself for giving you this nugget, I will like myself, which is this. Your cell phone number underwriting, now you've locked in a thesis. We have brainstormed a thesis. Now we go hunting for what? A buyer. Remember, this buyer is just hiring us for an internship. So, I mean, they're not plopping down $4 million or even $400,000 or even $5,000. They're plopping down. Why is my like total at 5 still? Not happy with you guys. Not because you don't like me. I'm not happy with you because you don't like yourself enough to like something in order for the algorithm to improve for you. That's where you're at now. Watch where you are going to go, where I'm accelerating you. Now you have a thesis. Your thesis now connects to CEOs. This is how. You call and leave voicemails for CEOs. Hi, CEO of anything. I'm wondering who you have as a project lead or chief of staff that connects to Citicorp's effort in doing cell phone number underwriting. Me, I'm Larry Chang. This is the voicemail message. I'll start over because notate the time at the 20-minute, 20-second mark. 2020. Being able to 2020 laser beam into their brain. Hi, I'm Larry Chang. I'm leaving you this voicemail message to be curious about whether and who you have, because at Citicorp, you must have somebody working on cell phone number underwriting. Can you or your admin call me back with the person who's heading this up? This is why cell phone underwriting can have a double digit or an 8-figure return. One, replace cell phone number replacing social security number. Two, email address underwriting as it pre-rolls cell phone number writing. Three, well, I've taken up a lot of your voicemail time already. Go ahead and call me back, 650. I'm Larry Chang, grab a pen. You're saying this in a voicemail, by the way. I'm Larry Chang, grab a pen. It's 650 283 8008. The confidence that you have in just giving a voicemail pretty much commands a callback. And now the chief of staff is introducing you to other people in the company. It's called How to Close for a Job Using Voicemail. How useful is that? Are you having a fun time? You are having a fun time? Do you want me to keep going? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Seriously. Should we keep going with the internships? It's kind of like consent conversations in dating. The first person to bring up consent wins. Because when we're talking about a thesis for an interview, the first person to bring up their specific thesis wins. Why? Because most conversations are generalities. Look at the comments. They're incredibly general, whereas the killer comment is, OMG, I watched your stand-up comedy that's 110% serious, and it helped me meet 5 more people on a weekend. Or I watched your cold open Psycho Saturday video, and I was able to say hi to 2 women that I thought were out of my league. Do you see how, like, those aren't the comments? The comments are kind of general. They're not actually kind of general. They could be applied to almost any room. And that's most people's effort in communication, where I'm trying to listen while I speak. And you can see that effort in How to Close for an Internship over voicemail. Because remember, what we're talking about here is business fundamentals presented in a fun way. And leaving a voicemail that gets you a job interview is beyond genius. It's beyond genius because it's hilarious. It's hilarious because it's an interruption of what you would expect the tool of a voicemail would be. Oh, but most people just don't even listen to their voicemails. Trust me, executives, they listen to voicemails. Why? Because most people can't leave a very good one. This is your average voicemail. Hi, it's me, Larry. I sent you an email a couple weeks back. And, well, that email said 5 things that you didn't care about. I'd appreciate this guilt trip turning into a callback. Here's my phone number, 512-775-8100. Thanks. That's everybody's voicemail. Get in late, get out early. Hi, I'm Larry Chang. You don't know me yet. Do you like the hezzy? You don't know me yet. I've studied 5 specific things from one of your talks at the Economic Club of New York. I did some research and I came up with 3 bullet points. Cell phone number underwriting, email address underwriting, risk minimization, risk mitigation, risk elimination. I need you or your chief of staff to introduce me to the person who is in charge of that project for you. Why? Because I have this research. It's burning a hole in my pocket because I took a bunch of notes during a Larry Chang video. The CEO is going to call you back himself. Here's my number. If you didn't remember my name, it's Larry Chang. And here's my phone number. It's 650. Seriously, get a pen. 650. And when you say that in a voicemail, people will laugh. They'll be like, "Oh, I was just gonna forward this voicemail, but you know what? I better write it down." Grab a pen. And when you say grab a pen, they'll laugh. And when people laugh, their brain turns on a little bit. A little bit. The brain turns on a little bit. I don't think I've ever said a little bit that many times in that short a time frame. What do you want to talk about next? Ooh. Should we talk about using social media to get job offers? I don't know why people don't use their social media to get to their goals. It's like people are trying to pretend like they don't have goals while pretending to be rich, while impressing nobody because nobody's impressed by a Ferrari on social media. Whereas I want you to use YouTube like it's a treasure map. Where are you now? Where are you going? Where are you now? Where are you going? Treasure map. When was the last time you guys cold opened people that you didn't know in a restaurant or at a bar? Are we going out ever? What are we doing to meet new people, new boyfriend, girlfriends, new job opportunities? What are you guys doing for deal flow? Or are you going YouTube video to YouTube video going, I've never met a Chinese cowboy before. He sure talks funny. What do you guys want to go over next? Moonlighting could be a topic. Side hustles. Gamifying ride sharing. Thank you. Live action business case study 3366. Coming up with a franchise, a joke franchise, or a joke business. Chapter 69, Snowball. Do you guys think when I talk about going on vacation for free, does that creep people out because it sounds amazing? Or should I just hit some new topics? Because I've got a trillion topics. It's just that's the one that hot girls love. And so it's so easy that, and nobody else is in competition with us trying to do it. Did you like the brainstorming the thesis thing? When I offer you my email address, my cell phone number, does it make it seem like you're going to be sold something in the future? Or is it too helpful because it breaks the fourth wall? The fourth wall meaning I'm supposed to just talk, you're supposed to just listen, and we are never supposed to interact. The reason I'm forthcoming with sharing is I want you to slingshot past me, where we go from mentee, mentor, to a point where I get to learn from you and see the slingshot engage. Kind of like Shelby Sapp, who's got a single digit number of videos, but a jaw dropping number of subscribers. So basically, this is something that you can do should you choose to do so. Don't think of it as YouTube influencer. Think of it as networking, friend to friend, acquaintance to acquaintance. Maybe we won't be friends, but going from acquaintance, me, to you, acquaintance, acquaintance to acquaintance. Oh my God, that could be your video series. That's a video series I'd want to watch, which is acquaintance to acquaintance. Why is the like total stuck at 5? Is there something wrong with the YouTube algorithm? And I'm not saying this because I want more likes. I'm saying this because why are you hesitant to like it? When you like it, you change your brain, you change your emotional state, and you also change your algorithm, like how your brain is wired. Also, show me via email, larry@duck9.com, duck like a rubber duck, 909. Show me your written notes. Or are you taking notes like an NPC? Oh. I brought things for show and tell. I brought things for show and tell. Got the second one working. Do you like my prep? So, why starfish? Why starfish? Because starfish wash along the beach after a storm. And starfish are things that you can throw back into the ocean and it saves them. This also is the solution for when a company needs to fluff up. Remember, this is business fundamentals done in a fun way. W-E-I, W-E-I, yeah, W-E-I, in a fun way. Is that a Bobby Wei pun? Yeah. Chinese dude from Naperville at Stanford Engineering who came up with menu item number 9 in and around the time of DoorDash. How cool is that? Slap a stuffed animal on it and make it slay. We can do that because most of the time a stuffed animal makes business slightly more fun. And what happens when business is made slightly more fun? We start winning. This has been a great video. What's been the highlight in the time that you've spent with me today on this video? What has been the highlight? In the comments, tell me what has stuck out in your mind. The question for you guys is, what has stuck out in your mind on the topic of this video? What has stuck out in your mind? Is this the first time that we've hung out person to person? Have you seen or run into one of my posts before this video, which is Business Fundamentals presented in a fun way? Resume hacking, deal flow hacking, job hacking, life hacking. All right, the interaction has been just astronomical. Let's wrap up by recapping things that we can do inside of business while potentially exploring some things that previously I had not brought up. Using a book's author to control the author like it's my hand up this starfish and working them like a puppet. Not trash talk, not trash talk. Why? Because we're going to use a book to perform a thesis. Remember before where we're talking to CEOs and presenting a thesis? We're now going to read a book together and we're going to present an additional thesis that we present to the author. The author is actually more desperate than I am on likes and subscribers. Why? Because authors go from book to book hoping that this book is the last book that needs to be written on this subject. But guess what? It's not the last book. In fact, before it's even done printing, it's already kind of out of date, but they just need to go to the printer. What we're doing is we're networking with the author in order to make their book better. When we make their book better, we are now their cohort. You wrote the book. Me, you, and the author study buddied the book. Now we get to write a book report. Do you see the power in doing one video? You do, right? Because that's a person I want to give a job offer to, is a person who can compress other people's work to the point where the employer can benefit. Let me repeat that. Employers want to hire people that can compress other people's work. Where if I'm hiring you, I'm not just hiring one person. I'm hiring all the people that you have been able to merge and acquire. That's potent. That's powerful. That's working the game of business on easy mode. Recap. Oh, do you like how this recap actually explores something else that's related? Recap. After you leave a voicemail message, send a thank you card. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's amazing. The reason that's amazing is this. Nobody sends thank you cards. So when you send a thank you card, you're winning at business because you're following up and you're doing above and beyond what the person expects. Because of that, then you hack the thankfulness cycle. What is hacking the thankfulness cycle? It's chapter 8 karma. Karma can be tracked, measured, and channeled. That's saying thank you. It's like going above and beyond just subscribing, commenting, and liking. It's going above and beyond that. And when we do more than what's expected, it's hilarious, it's charming, it's funny, it's powerful. It's been great hanging out with you guys.